Thanks for the support as a channel member, Roman Spartan 3. Big FA Cup third round tie today, folks. Away from home, Aston Villa, big ground, big payday. Hopefully this sets us up financially for at least the rest of the season. Hello and welcome to part 60 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have that FA Cup third round tie away against Villa. And then maybe a replay, but more likely we'll be playing Stevenage at home after that. As you can see, we are still top of League 2, 27 games played, 6 points clear of Doncaster in fourth place, which is the all-important distinction we're looking for. We're not that bothered about going up as champions. It would be nice, but more importantly, we just want to go up. The transfer window is open, so we need to be a little bit aware of that because there are a couple of our players who have got some interest from bigger clubs. You can see Broadbent is wanted by Luton. McNulty was linked with a £250,000 offer somewhere, and now I can't find him to work out who it was who was after him. Don't know where he is. Why have I got all these players on here? Get all these out of the way, and then I can find players easier. McNulty is injured and not currently linked to anybody, so that's good. There was interest in him before, but there's lots of little wanted symbols next to a lot of our players, so we need to be careful. What we need is a result against Villa, or not even a result against Villa, a payday against Villa. So this desperate situation looks a little bit less desperate, so that we don't necessarily have to take the first offers that come in for these players. That's how form has been. So generally looking pretty good, and like I say, league position looking very good. This is the team that we're taking to Aston Villa. We've got Hattersley in goal, a back four of Mark Sheffield, O'Driscoll, Lavelle and Dodd, Broadbent and Dean in midfield as per usual, Barnes, Palmer and Berry supporting Dodds up front. So on this occasion it's Goldie who misses out. He is injured, to be fair. So, he's got a cold. There's a couple of them with a cold, I think. Did Mitchell have? No, Mitchell's got an ankle. Someone else had a cold or flu or something. There was a little bit, there was something going round amongst the players. So Barnes is perfectly adequate to play on that left-hand side. Let's get into the game. For some reason, Villa's kits haven't loaded. I did wonder if I'd loaded all the Premier League kits wrong, but I looked at some other teams and they do have kits. I know they're last year's kits. I know that bothers some of you. It doesn't bother me. But for whatever reason, Villa's kits, unless that is Villa's kit, I don't know. Is their kit that boring? I can't say that I've watched a huge amount of Aston Villa in the last 20 years. That could be the kit that they play in. But yeah, that's don't know why they just don't get a kit. They must have been missing from the pack that I downloaded last year and we never noticed it during FM19. There's some faces and some names. Well, okay, there's one face I recognise. There's some names I recognise in there though. So there's actually some players in their team. They are top of the championship at the moment. So I expect to get a complete pasting. It's top of the championship against top of League 2. The important thing for us is we want to make sure that there's a lot of fans in. Obviously, there's not going to be any Bourne fans in because we don't travel in numbers. Although for a big away game like Villa, we could have taken 1,000 people. Who knows? Who knows? But we want there to be like 30, 40,000 people inside. But there's not, is there? We were hoping for a big pile of cash and it doesn't look like we're going to be getting one. But what we have got is a breakaway down the right-hand side here through Berry. If he can get past that left back, Dodds is in the middle. He doesn't need to get past him. He just does the big deep cross from miles out, but Barnes can't quite direct the header goalwards. There is nobody in this ground. So much for a payday. Surely the Villa fans would turn up, at least. It's the FA Cup third round. They're top of the championship. They should be in good spirits and enjoying their football at the moment. And you'd look at a game against a League 2 team you've probably never heard of. Yes, we're top of the league, but League 2 team you've never heard of. You'd think it was going to be a fun day out. 5 or 6-0 win. Dodds has got it in the back of the net, but it's been disallowed. And I'm not entirely sure that was offside. It didn't look offside to me. And the best thing was Dodds had time to think about it and still managed to find the back of the net. But alas, it was disallowed. But we've just had another good opportunity. And you know what? On balance of highlights so far, we look like the team who deserve to be in the lead at the moment. So we've come here to Villa Park. The fans haven't turned up. It's upset us. And we've clearly used that as a way to motivate ourselves into being very competitive in the game so far. 0-0 at half-time. And a replay would be lovely. A win would be even better. Like I say, it's really all about the money. It's nothing to lose today. Go out there and give it your best shot. Exactly. That's the attitude. It really doesn't matter what the result is unless we win, in which case that's awesome, because then we could get an away game against Manchester United in the next round, or Newcastle, or Arsenal. I'm trying to think of teams that have big grounds where there might be lots of people in. Right, Palmer clears it, looking for Barnes on this left-hand side, who is chasing but can't quite get there. And now Dodds looking to chase down the Villa goalkeeper. Gets a little bit closer than Barnes did previously, but neither of them got particularly close. And now Villa coming down our left. He's drifted past O'Driscoll like he's not there. Same with Mark Sheffield, and there's a goal. And that was all too easy for Villa. It's like they just decided to switch on goal mode for a moment. They've got their goal, and hopefully they'll sit down and shut up again now, because when they're playing like that, we cannot get past them. That's mad. Yikes. The important thing, though, is it looks like, did I see there's 15,000 people here? Only 300 of them from Bourne. I love us. I love the fact that we don't support our team at all. It's brilliant. But getting I think it's a 45% share of that gate is going to be one of our biggest paydays in history. So doesn't matter that we're losing 2-0 now. We're going to be coming away with a nice little sack of cash. It's not going to be clearing the overdraft levels of cash, which is what the dream would have been with a full stadium here and maybe a game in the next round. That would have been clearing overdraft territory. But I don't know. Could we get a third of it wiped off? Maybe as much of as half of it. That would go a long way towards easing immediate financial troubles. They can stop this now, though. This just tearing through us like we don't have any defenders. Now O'Driscoll's given away a penalty. It's like Villa have realised in the second half that we're the League Two team and they're about to be a Premier League team again. Hattersley makes a penalty save. Is that going to be the thing that turns the game around? Let's show some passion. Yeah, the result doesn't matter, but we've got to at least go down swinging. We've got Hattersley in there deciding he doesn't want to just roll over and have him tickle his belly. Hopefully, we've got a few of the other lads that have got a similar attitude. We haven't. 3-0. And now I'm thinking we perhaps shouldn't have come here doing a 4-2-3-1 with a positive mentality against a team that were definitely going to beat us. But my counter argument to that would be the only chance we had of winning the game was to come here and beat them. We weren't going to counter-attack our way to a win. We could have minimised a defeat, but the day I start thinking like that is the day I stop making Football Manager videos, because it's boring. Look at all these yellow cards we've got. Look at all those yellow cards. We may as well give Sadler a little bit of a run out as well. He still hasn't had much opportunity to play in the team. There you go. A triple change. I'd be surprised if we didn't pick up a red card in these last 20 minutes or so. Let's get creative. What we don't want now is a 5 or 6 goal defeat, because it's the sort of thing that then does hit you in the confidence bone. And I guess that's where the argument for coming here and defending and just losing 2-0 comes in, because we were never supposed to get a result. So being narrowly defeated is better for your confidence and your morale than getting thumped. But I think 3-0 with us giving it a go and being competitive, at least in the first half, hopefully that won't have too much of a negative effect on us. And if we can grab a goal here towards the end, it gives our 294 fans who've come and joined us here in Birmingham for the day, gives them something to sing about on the way home, which we all like singing on the way home. It's fun. I don't know what I'm saying. Singing on the way home is fun. Do you really? I don't really sing on the. You sing on the way there. You don't really sing on the way home. I guess if you've won, you'll sing on the way home, but not all the way home. Nobody sings all the way home. You might sing all the way there though. Mark Sheffield plays it forward to Barnes. Back to Mark Sheffield again. We've got a couple of minutes left if we are to grab ourselves a consolation goal, which I think is going to be important for morale if we can grab one. Mark Sheffield again. He's got room if he just wants to get a crossover. Now is the opportunity. But it looks like he's actually waiting to be fouled instead. Finds Norman, and Michael Norman, I think that's his first ever goal for Bourne. And I'll have that. Memorable moment as he scores his first Bourne Town goal, and it's away from home against Aston Villa. A sign of bright things in the future of Michael Norman, owner of a soul patch. And 3-1, far more respectable than 3-0. And Norman immediately forces himself into first team contention. So I'm happy with that. I can absolutely, putting the result aside, that was a pleasing performance. They're all delighted, so that should, my assistant manager ruined it a little bit, but hopefully we've not taken any kind of hit to morale. And now the thing is, how much money did we get? Not much in the way of prize money, but gate money. I would say close to a third, probably nearer to a quarter of our overdraft been removed. So it's better than a kick in the teeth, that's for sure. And now at least we can focus just on League Two. We have been knocked out of the EFL Cup as well, haven't we? Yes, we have. Good. So now we can, just focus on League Two, get ourselves a promotion. Everyone's happy. Let's go beat Stevenage. Just one change for the Stevenage game then. Washbourne comes in for O'Driscoll, who's suspended after picking up the yellow card in that last game. And Norman, despite forcing himself into first team contention, has to drop out the team again to make room for Gary Mitchell back on the bench because, of course, back in the Football League, we have to have at least one homegrown player, and he's the only one we've got in the first team squad. And he's only really there by default because we never let him go. So, yeah, no spot on the bench for Norman despite scoring at Villa Park. Where is the justice in that? There isn't any. That's exactly where the justice is. Let's get into this game. And we want to avenge what happened. We love avenging things. So let's avenge what happened last time we played Stevenage. I don't know what happened last time we played Stevenage. If you do, let me know. I know. The comments, I guess, is a good way to communicate with me here on YouTube. I think that's what they're for. Stevenage, not a million miles away from us back in the playoffs, actually. So they're probably going to fancy their chances if we're a little bit off our game off the back of playing the game against Villa. This is a game in hand for both of us because everyone else did play at the weekend. So Stevenage presumably would have had a weekend off unless they were in the third round of the FA Cup as well, which I haven't checked, but seems unlikely as everyone else around the top of the table played. So the chances of the two of us who were due to play each other both not being available would have been a little bit weird. And here they are trying to capitalise on the situation with a goal, a 13th goal of the season for their striker, which is more than any of our strikers have got. That's what we're missing. Although we're top of the league, we're missing a really prolific striker. I think it's something we definitely need to address next season, whatever league we're in. And I think we definitely have to be thinking in terms of being in League One next year. And we're going to need a proper striker if we're going to survive there. Dean plays it back to Broadbent, who plays a lovely ball over the top for Barnes. Barnes is in, and if he wasn't a left back, he perhaps would have pulled the trigger there, and it would have been 1-1, or at the very least squaring it across for Dodds. But he just hesitated a little bit too long, and we ended up with a corner that we've wasted by overhitting it. And as we approach half-time, we are still 1-0 down, and our defenders and defensive midfielders are accumulating yellow cards again. What is this? Is this some kind of weird new habit that we've picked up where everyone's going to get a yellow card every game? Right. What are we going to say? We're going to continue trying to avenge what happened last time. Avenge, 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 and we're going to go attacking, and we're going to try and do some avenging. We have got Goldie on the bench, who I think I'm probably going to look to bring on sooner rather than later. He is on his way back from injury, but he is our joint top scorer with Dodds coming in off that left-hand side. And we've already seen with Barnes that he's not particularly effective playing further forward. He's much better joining in the attacks from left-back. Mark Sheffield is doing exactly that with a ball forward for Dodds here, though, who plays it across for Berry. He's got to do it on his own, but I think he's going to. It falls to Barnes. Not effective up front, he says. There's his 6th goal of the season. It's a poacher's goal. Berry didn't have to do it all on his own because Barnes was there supporting. I didn't even notice him arrive. I think that's Barnes charging in here. Berry did really, really well. And there is Barnes. Interestingly, starting from the same position as Dodds, who's supposedly a poacher. But Dodds wasn't aware of what was going on at all. Fantastic work from him. Right. I'm still going to make that change that I talked about making regardless because I want to get Goldie back into the fray as soon as possible. And I think I'm going to take off Dodds and bring on Sadler because Dodds is just a frustrating man, a very frustrating man. When he's in form and playing well, he looks fantastic. But the other 90% of the time, he's just so average. Barnes with the cross finds Berry, and this time Berry does tuck it into the back of the net. That's his 10th goal of the season now, and I think both him, Dodds and Berry and Goldie, sorry, are now all tied joint top scorer with 10 goals each. It is, I mean, on paper, a very dangerous looking front three, even if Dodds isn't very often. But that, I think, is my cue to drop back down just to a positive mentality. We're not gonna drop all the way back to balanced. We're not going to get that carried away. But we will stop going proper attack for a minute. Webster can come on for Dodd for a very rare appearance for Webster, who was battling with Dodd for that position a year or two back. But with McNulty arriving now, McNulty is kind of my first choice right back, although he's injured at the moment. And Webster's fallen down the pecking order massively. Probably someone who could probably move on this summer, or maybe even this transfer window, if someone wants to give us money for him. We need to get a tackle in here. We haven't. And it's a 90th minute equaliser, and it's that man again who scored earlier in the game. That's what you get with a proper goal scorer in your team, I guess. I mean, in the circumstances, I suppose we don't need to be too upset. They're a team who are also pushing for promotion as well. We're off the back of a big game. We're more tired than they are. Excuses. We're the home team. We should win, and hopefully we score here. Lavelle's there, and Lavelle does score. Forget your excuses. Excuses are for losers. It's a 94th minute goal. I've been stung with some of them recently. It's nice to sting somebody back again. Let's have a look at it from the replay. It's a lovely free kick floated over from Palmer and a dominant header from Lavelle at that far post. And it's 3-2 and we maintain our lead at the top of the table. It was an excellent comeback. We showed proper spirit and grit in that game. I'm very, very proud. Good result. Beautiful looking league table. And on Sunday, we'll be somewhere in here. We've probably got a couple of episodes left this season to hopefully leave us with a league title, which let's try not to tempt fate too much. But if we have a little look at our competition history, the only leagues we actually won were, okay, we won a few on the way up. 1, 2, we won 4 of them consecutively on the way up, but we've not won a league. We've not won anything for 7 years at this point, although we have drug ourselves through some more promotions, but we've not won anything for 7 years. So a league title this year would be lovely. This, less so. That's going to cause us financial problems if that keeps happening. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.